Welcome to week 31. We are officially in a major phase of refinement. All that foundational work is really starting to pay off, and now your baby is just fine-tuning all their systems for life out here in the world. Things are definitely getting real, so let's jump right into this incredible week of preparation. So, if we had to give your baby a secret mission for this week, this would be it. We're past the basic instruction, and we are now deep into advanced training. And what's the number one goal? It's all about mastering coordination, getting all those brand new parts to work together in perfect harmony. And just so you have a picture in your head, that little mission commander you're carrying weighs about 1.5 kilograms now, or 3.3 pounds. If you're trying to imagine that, picture a coconut. Yep, that's about how heavy they are. They're getting bigger and stronger literally every single day. Okay, so where does this whole mission to master coordination actually begin? Well, it all starts right up top, in the command center. This week, the brain is getting a massive upgrade. This is the groundwork for every single little thing they'll ever do. You know, what's happening on a microscopic level right now is it's truly mind-blowing. Trillions with a T of these neural connections are firing up. We're talking hundreds of thousands being created every single minute. It's like the universe's most complex switchboard is being wired up at lightning speed. And this wiring, it's what lets the brain send signals to control everything, from a tiny finger twitch to recognizing the sound of your voice. We can actually break this super complex process down into 3 simple stages. So first, the basic connections, the wires, they just form. Then, as those pathways get used over and over, the signals traveling along them get stronger and faster. And what's the result of all that? Well, their movements become way more refined, much less like those random, jerky little reflexes. And here's the coolest part. You can actually feel this happening. So if you're noticing this right now, no, it is not your imagination. Those kicks and stretches might feel a little different lately, maybe more deliberate, more, well, purposeful. That's just the command center getting better and better at its job, live in real time. Of course, a brilliant command center is only as good as the hardware it's controlling, right? So let's talk about the body and how it's getting ready for the big debut. Your baby is busy with some absolutely crucial physical prep work for life on the outside. Right now, 2 huge upgrades are happening at the same time. On one hand, your baby is building up their own personal insulation. Layers of fat are starting to accumulate right under the skin, and that's going to be essential for them to regulate their own body temperature. But at the same time, the lungs are in full-on training mode. They're practicing breathing by rhythmically moving amniotic fluid in and out. This is like a workout to strengthen all the right muscles for that all-important very first breath. So the main thing to remember here is that these aren't just random little developments. You can think of them as full dress rehearsals for the 2 most vital jobs a newborn has: staying warm all by themselves, and, of course, breathing independently. Your baby is literally practicing every single day for their big opening night. Okay, so the baby is clearly working overtime, getting everything ready. But this flurry of development, all this growth, it has a direct impact on their environment. So what does all this nonstop activity actually mean for you, the person we might as well call mission control? Let's pivot for a minute and talk about your side of the story. Because as the baby gets bigger and way more active, things can get, well, a little crowded in there. And you are without a doubt feeling the effects of all these final preparations. Does any of this sound familiar? With less room to move around, those purposeful movements can feel like some pretty strong stretches and a whole lot of pressure. It's also super common for that first trimester fatigue to make a surprise comeback. And right along with it, you might find that your sleep is lighter and, more interrupted. So what can you actually do about all this? Here is a fantastic pro tip for you. Try resting on your side. Your left side is especially great because it can really help. And using pillows for support, maybe one under your belly and another between your knees, can take off a ton of that pressure. Plus, and this is a big one, it improves circulation for both you and the baby. Right now, comfort is everything. And that pretty much brings us to the end of our Week 31 explainer. So let's do a quick debrief on all the major accomplishments before we start looking ahead to what's next on the agenda. So, to recap the highlights, your baby made huge progress wiring their brain for coordinated movement, they've been stockpiling body fat for temperature control, and those lungs have been practicing for that very first breath. I mean, what an incredibly productive week. And this leaves us with a really fascinating question for next time. Now that the coordination systems are getting locked in, what becomes the next top priority in these final weeks? Is it all about strengthening the skeleton, or does the focus shift to building up a really robust immune system? We'll find out in our explainer for week 32.